Hey everyone, welcome to Elemental Sustenance. It's the second exhibition of 2024, and I'm James Frederick. I'm coming to you from Provincetown, and I just want to take you through my second exhibition of the season. So it's called Elemental Sustenance because I feel like I get my strength, my ability to get through the season by going out into nature here. So the elements, we do weekly beach fires, and I get out in my kayak, I explore the dunes. I'm always trying to counterbalance the hubbub of the busy commercial street activity with kind of bringing nature into my life and to my psyche. And so I painted a bunch of pieces. They all illustrate different aspects of that. I'm actually in a couple of the paintings. I haven't done a self-portrait for a while. So there are two that feature me. And if you were curious about a description that I posted recently about how there are 2.25 self-portraits, I'll explain that as we go through the work. So I'm going to take you through all the pieces. It's all acrylic on canvas. Again, some of my more representational pieces, and I love how they came out. So I'm excited to share the work with you. I'll take you through one at a time and explain each piece, and then I'll chat with you at the end of this. All right, I'll take you through now. So the first piece I want to share of the 14 new pieces is called Balance, and as you can see, it's one of the self-portraits. It's 8 by 10, and sometimes we do this thing where we will throw a plank over a beach fire and dare each other to walk the plank. So anyway, it's called Balance, which you certainly have to have to do this. And I love painting fire, so you'll see a few pieces with fire. And there's a bit of a double entendre with the name too, the title Balance, because that's what this whole body of work is about, is maintaining that balance of calm and peace through the hectic season. So this piece is called Hatch's Glow, and it's 16 by 16. And it's a view of the sunset when you're out in Hatches Harbor, and the basin fills up at high tide, and you can kind of see Race Point off in the distance there. Some of the National Seashores beach signs there. So anyway, it's called Hatch's Glow, and it's 16 by 16. I love the color in this one. And if you're not familiar with my work, I use a dark canvas to start and sketch out a little bit of reference, and then go in with paint and create some of this tension that you see here of the dark under canvas along with the surface. So this next piece is large. It's 36 by 36, and it's called Blowing In. Just gonna step over here so you can see it maybe at a better light with some distance. So yeah, it's a nice large piece, and it's a view of Herring Cove. When we were getting settled for a beach fire, and the sun still hasn't dropped, but it was a little windy that night, actually too windy to build the fire. But I love the way it represents the air part of the elements, because sometimes here on Cape Cod you get a lot of wind, and I love that. This was an especially beautiful night with the light as the sun was starting to slowly drop, and then getting the illumination against that darker kind of cloud that was in the background. So it's called Blowing In, and I just love painting clouds. As you can see, they're a little gestural. So Blowing In. The next piece is a self-portrait, and it's me in my kayak. It's called Paddling, and it's 12 by 12. And this was fun to do. I loved creating the surface of the water. That was kind of a bigger challenge for me than actually painting me, which might look like me to some people and maybe not to others. But this was painted from a photograph that my friend Darlene took from the pier as I was starting to go under the pier. So that's why you get that angle. It almost looks like a drone shot. But that's my kayak. It's a big fishing kayak. It's 12 foot and it weighs a ton. So that's paddling, 12 by 12. And this piece, I love how this came out. This is also a view in the dunes with the grass. We get a lot of beautiful dune grass, beach grass, and a lot of times within the grass there are some florals, and this is some goldenrod. So this piece is actually called goldenrod, and it is 16 by 20. And just zoom in a little here. Hopefully it won't blow out, but you can see the distant dunes with the foreground being this amazing grass. So yeah, you get a sense of all the elements in these pieces, especially wind and water, earth, and fire. So speaking of fire, this is the other self-portrait here. This is 6 by 6, and that's why I said 2.25. It's called Toasty Toes, and it's a teeny little study of me sticking my feet in the fire. So those are my feet, and that's hence the quarter self-portrait. This little piece is also 6 by 6. I call it Bright Bay, and I love the color in this one. So this is a tiny little study that you're able to snatch up. These work great on bookcases, you know, or just a little moment that you want to remember. And this piece is called Dune Path. It's already been collected, so it's not available, but it's just, I love when you're out in the dunes and you don't see anything but earth, you know, and there's no water, sky, and there's just tons of sand and grass. So it's called Dune Path. This little piece is called Dune Grass, and it's actually been curated into this show from a former show. So it was painted last year, but it just really worked out well. So it's 6 by 6, it's called Dune Grass. And I really needed it to fill out the presentation above this large piece, which is actually 30 by 40. So this is one of the big pieces of the show, and it's called Morning Peace. Love how this one came out. I love the light. I love the little trails in the sand that the ebbing tide makes. This is a view from Truro, looking at the sunrise over the Atlantic. So this is Morning Peace. Again, a large piece. It's 30 by 40. I'll give you a couple close-ups here. The next piece I want to share with you is up here. It's called Making Waves. It's 8 by 10. And it's a view, again, from Herring Cove. And you can see Race Point off in the distance there. But the significant part of this is that we don't often get a lot of big waves at Herring Cove. And so this was definitely a windy day where the wind was coming just the right direction. So making waves. This piece I've used to promote the show, so you've probably seen this one. It's called Take the Chill Off. And it's, I think, one of the most successful of the fires that I painted. Sometimes we have like found kindling and lumber that we use. So you see like kind of a longer board in this particular fire. I love to do them right when the sun is setting so we can get that beautiful contrast of the sky and the fire. So this is 12 by 12 and it's called Take the Chill Off. And then I'm going to go down to this other 12 by 12. This piece is called Back Breeze. And you can really get a sense of the wind. And this one, this is that tidal basin that we call the moors, and it's basically fills up with water and back out, and there's a lot of seagrass that grows there, and so it's kind of behind the dunes, so that's why I'm calling it Back Breeze. And yeah, simple little study. I love the sky, and this one, again, lots of texture. And this piece is called The Sun Sets, and it is 12 by 12. And the colors were staggering that night, and so I just had to paint this, so sunset. And I'm gonna move down here to Sand Streaks. This is 16 by 20. And this is where the water streaks into the sand as the tide goes out usually, and just leaves some water until it drains out into the sea and on the beach, and it makes amazing patterns. This one is of Heron Cove, and what you're seeing, the color is actually reflective of the sunset, which is kind of setting off to the right from this view. So that's called Sand Streaks, and it's 16 by 20. So that is the collection, and I'm excited to share with you the work. And I love taking you through a little slice of my life here in Provincetown. So I want to make you aware that my next exhibition is in July, and it's at the Mary Heaton Vorse House. The Art Society is going to host a solo exhibition of my work in the garden on Sunday afternoon, July 14th, and I am excited about that. And then July 19th will be my July exhibition here in the studio, and the work is called Bloom, and it's abstracted florals and garden scenes, a little departure for me, and I'm excited about how the work is coming out, so I'll be very excited to share that with you. So it's called Bloom, July 19th. And just to let you know that in the description here is a link to my online store. It'll go right to the landscapes section, which is where all of this work is, and you can get more dimensions and find out details about these pieces. Again, thank you so much for all of your support as I continue to plug away at the 10th season for the studio.